Welcome to my Ignite. My name is Christine Kwong and my topic is Alberta's curriculum redesign. The curriculum redesign is one of the ways Alberta education is bringing the vision of inspiring education to life. The plan is for the curriculum to be overhauled in every grade and every subject at the same time in a much shorter time frame than we have seen in the past. There is no absolute date set, but initially the timeline looked like rollout would begin in September of 2016. Alberta Education's website now says those dates will be determined depending on readiness and needed supports for provincial implementation. Why change? The world is changing faster and faster. However, many school practices have stayed the same over the last hundreds of years. With the rapid pace of technology, many argue that we are not preparing students sufficiently for their futures. There are several shifts that the Alberta curriculum redesign is taking. A number of curriculum theorists over the years have called for similar changes to curriculum. I do think that all of these changes at once do seem like a total mind shift, though. This shift is a shift to student-focused. Curriculum should remain responsive and relevant for students and enable flexibility for teachers as designers of learning opportunities to meet the diverse needs of students. Focus on competencies. The curriculum will enable meaningful connections within and among subject areas through a focus on competencies. Subjects and disciplines will continue to be taught and will be the vehicles through which literacy, numeracy, and competencies are developed over time. Programs of studies with fewer learning outcomes enable greater flexibility at the local level. Eisner argued that the complex and dynamic nature of learning produces far too many outcomes to possibly identify in advance. With fewer specific outcomes, there will be more time to allow students to study topics more in depth. A shift in the balance regarding assessments. Rather than all the focus being on the summative assessments, the redesign shifts to more of a balance to include a focus on formative assessment as well. Shift to digitally based. The design of curriculum within a collaborative digital application encourages curriculum to be improved continuously and supports learning with flexible timing and pacing through a range of learning environments. This creates possibilities for anytime and anywhere learning. Co-creation of curriculum with partners and stakeholders taps into local expertise to design and develop curriculum. The shift to synchronous development is an integrated approach to developing programs of studies, assessments, and learning and teaching resources. It supports a common approach that encourages interdisciplinary learning and enables curriculum to be available in English and French at the same time. One of the guiding principles that I'm excited about is inclusive, equitable access. When I read through the draft standards for curriculum development, it is filled with inclusive language. Starting with Standard 1, it states curriculum, programs of study, assessments, and learning and teaching resources must be inclusive of and accessible to all Alberta students. The policy shift to technology to support the creation and sharing of knowledge moves away from a focus on technology for teaching. It's about getting the technology in the hands of our students, not just the teachers. It's about using technology for students to create and invent, not just passively sit and get information. The Learning and Technology Policy Framework has also been created to support the vision of inspiring education. The Learning and Technology Policy Framework is based on the belief that digital technologies play an integral role in preparing students as future global citizens. Through the curriculum redesign conversations I've been a part of for the past 2 years, I've been reflecting on my own practice and making changes in how I plan instruction and learning opportunities for my students. For one thing, I now focus on the big ideas. With less SLOs, I feel like I could afford the time to allow my students to dig deeper into their learning through more project-based learning or Genius Hour or Makerspace type projects. No more ticking off a long list of outcomes and skimming the surface. I will give my students more voice and choice. Green's work spoke to the need for this. She suggested that the individual or student will only be in a position to learn when he is committed to act upon his world. With the shift in technology for creation and sharing of knowledge, I will use technology in new and innovative ways. Tools like Twitter, blogs, and video conferencing connect my class with other classes and learners around the globe. I've been thinking about what if curriculum redesign doesn't go through. Does that mean that we just go back to the way things were? No, for me, it is about the process. Having been involved with this work has changed my practice no matter what happens.